Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to tell you a truth that has been hidden in plain sight your entire life. You already have the key to greatness. It's not in a book you haven't read yet, not in some faraway mountain you must climb, not in the pockets of the wealthy or the hands of the powerful. That key is already inside you. It's your mind. Your mind is not just a place where thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. It is the most advanced creation in the known universe, more powerful than any computer, more creative than any artist, and more resilient than any machine. And yet, most people never use even a fraction of its true potential. They walk through life with a locked treasure chest in their hands, and never open it. You see, the mind responds to what you feed it. Feed it fear, and it will give you excuses. Feed it doubt, and it will give you limitations. But feed it vision, feed it belief, feed it persistence, and it will move mountains for you. The secret power of your mind is not just in thinking, it's in believing. When your mind truly believes in something, your body, your energy, your habits, your decisions, they all align like soldiers marching toward a single mission. That's when impossible becomes inevitable. But unlocking this power requires courage. Courage to challenge the thoughts that whisper you're not enough. Courage to dream bigger than your surroundings. Courage to rewire the stories you've been telling yourself for years. Every breakthrough in human history started in someone's mind before it ever became reality. Airplanes, light bulbs, cures, revolutions all began as a thought. So I ask you, what thought are you ignoring that could change your life? From this moment on, stop living as if your mind is a prison and start living as if it's your kingdom. Guard it, expand it, command it, because once you unlock the secret power of your mind, you will never again live small. You will see opportunities where others see obstacles, lessons where others see losses, and hope where others see despair. The future you dream of is already waiting for you inside your own head. The key is belief. The lock is fear. The choice is yours. Awareness is the moment you realize that your mind is not just a background process running your life, but the very command center that decides your destiny. For most people, the mind works on autopilot. They wake up, follow routines, and react to situations without ever questioning why they think the way they do. But once you step back and start observing your thoughts, you unlock the first door to the immense power within you. You begin to see that your life, as it is right now, is the result of the thoughts you've repeatedly entertained. Every achievement, every setback, every emotion you feel is connected to what you've been telling yourself consciously or unconsciously. That realization is like finding a hidden treasure map in your own pocket. It was there all along, but you never looked for it. Becoming aware of the power of your mind means paying attention to the patterns it follows. Are your thoughts mostly filled with doubt, fear, and limitations, or are they energized with vision, hope, and possibility? Many people believe their circumstances shape their thinking, but the truth is the reverse. Your thinking shapes your circumstances. If you carry a mindset of defeat, you'll find evidence to support it everywhere you go. If you carry a mindset of growth, you'll notice opportunities that others overlook. The difference is not in the world outside, but in the lens through which you view it. Awareness lets you change that lens deliberately. It's important to understand that awareness is not just about noticing the negative. It's about recognizing the influence of every single thought. When you become aware, you start catching yourself in moments where you'd normally let limiting beliefs slip by unchallenged. For example, if you think, "I can't do this," awareness interrupts that automatic thought and allows you to question it. Why can't I? Who says? Is that belief based on fact or fear? That tiny pause is the space where transformation begins. Without awareness, your mind is like a wild horse running wherever it pleases. With awareness, you take the reins. Awareness also helps you become intentional with your mental diet. Just as your body becomes what you feed it, your mind becomes what you expose it to daily. The conversations you have, the content you consume, the people you surround yourself with. By becoming aware, you start choosing inputs that strengthen and empower your mind instead of weakening it. You filter out the noise and focus on what fuels your purpose. This is the foundation for unlocking all the other keys to mental power, because without awareness, you can't change what you don't notice. The most powerful part of awareness is that it puts you back in control. Life will still throw challenges your way, but you'll meet them with clarity instead of confusion. You'll recognize fear as a signal to grow rather than a reason to stop. You'll see setbacks as lessons instead of punishments. And most importantly, you'll know that no matter where you are right now, you have the ability to shift your thinking, and in doing so, shift your life. Once you're aware, there's no going back, because you've opened the door to the incredible truth. You are the master of your mind, and your mind is the master of your reality. Belief is the invisible force that transforms ideas into reality. It is the inner conviction that something is possible even when the evidence around you says otherwise. Without belief, even the most brilliant plans remain lifeless thoughts, but with belief, a small, fragile idea can grow into something unstoppable. When you truly believe, you send a powerful signal to your mind and body that you are committed, that you will find a way, and that quitting is not an option. Belief is not just a feeling, it is the foundation on which action is built. It fuels persistence when the path gets tough, and it keeps you moving forward when logic says to stop. Most people underestimate the power of belief because it feels intangible, but its effects are visible everywhere in life. Think of the great inventors, leaders, and achievers in history. They all faced rejection, doubt, and failure, yet they pressed on because they believed in their vision more than they feared the obstacles. Belief gave them the courage to keep going long after others had given up. In the same way, your own belief system acts like a compass, guiding you toward your goals even when the road is unclear. Without it, you drift aimlessly. With it, you move with purpose. Belief also has a unique effect on the mind. It shapes what you notice and how you interpret the world. When you believe something is possible, your mind starts seeking ways to make it happen. You begin to notice resources, opportunities, and solutions that were invisible before. This is because the brain filters information based on what it considers important, and belief tells it what to prioritize. If you believe you can succeed, you'll see pathways. If you believe you can't, you'll only see walls. However, belief is not something you either have or don't have, it's something you can build. It starts with small wins. Each time you set a goal and achieve it, no matter how minor, you prove to yourself that you can follow through. These victories accumulate and form a strong foundation of confidence. Over time, this belief becomes unshakable, and it carries you through challenges that would have broken your former self. Belief is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. But belief must be protected. Negative voices, whether from other people or from your own self, doubt will try to weaken it. You must guard your mind against them. Surround yourself with people who encourage your vision, consume content that inspires you, and constantly remind yourself of why you started. When your belief wavers, revisit your purpose and your vision, because they will reignite your conviction. In the end, belief is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It does not erase obstacles, but it gives you the strength to face them. It transforms fear into courage, hesitation into action, and dreams into reality. Once you choose to believe, the rest of your mind's power comes alive. Belief is the spark that lights the fire, and with that fire, nothing can stand in your way. Visualization is the art of seeing your desired future in your mind before it becomes a reality in your life. It is not just daydreaming, it is a deliberate mental practice that activates the brain in ways similar to actually experiencing something. When you visualize, you create a detailed mental image of what you want, and your mind begins to accept it as possible, even inevitable. This process aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your vision, making it far more likely to manifest. The brain doesn't fully distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. That's why athletes, performers, and high achievers use visualization to sharpen their skills and strengthen their confidence long before the real moment arrives. The power of visualization lies in its ability to engage your senses and emotions. It's not enough to simply think, "I want success." You must see it in detail. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What sounds are around you, the more vivid your mental picture, the more your subconscious mind works to bring it to life. When you imagine holding that award, signing that contract, crossing that finish line, or standing in that dream location, your brain starts to wire itself for that outcome. It's as if you've already been there, so when the real moment comes, it feels natural. Visualization also serves as a powerful motivator. When you have a clear image of your desired future, it becomes easier to push through the difficult days. You're not just working for an abstract goal, you're working for a future you've already seen and emotionally connected with. That connection makes your actions feel purposeful rather than forced. Even when obstacles appear, visualization keeps you anchored in your destination rather than getting lost in the detours. One of the most overlooked aspects of visualization is emotional alignment. It's not just about seeing success, it's about feeling it. If you visualize yourself speaking confidently on stage, don't just see the audience feel the rush of confidence, the excitement in your chest, the sense of pride as you finish. These emotions are powerful signals to your subconscious mind that this outcome is desirable and achievable. When your thoughts and emotions match your vision, your actions naturally follow. To make visualization truly effective, it must be consistent. A few moments each day are enough to reinforce your vision. This daily practice strengthens the mental blueprint of your desired reality until it becomes deeply ingrained. Over time, your mind begins to filter the world differently, spotting opportunities and solutions that align with your vision. It's not magic, it's mental focus. Visualization turns your goals from distant hopes into mental rehearsals for your future. It plants the seeds of success deep within your mind, where they take root and grow into reality through your choices and persistence. When you visualize with clarity, emotion, and consistency, you're no longer chasing your dreams blindly, you're walking toward a destination you've already visited in your mind, and the journey feels inevitable. Self-talk is the constant conversation happening inside your mind, and it shapes the way you see yourself, the way you act, and ultimately the way your life unfolds. Every day, whether you're aware of it or not, you are speaking to yourself through thoughts, opinions, and judgments. These messages can be empowering, telling you that you're capable, strong, and worthy, or they can be destructive, filling your mind with doubt, fear, and limitations. The truth is, the voice you hear the most in life is your own, and it has the power to either build you up or break you down. Many people let their self-talk run unchecked, repeating old stories that no longer serve them. Phrases like "I'm not good enough," "I can't do this," or "that's just who I am," become ingrained patterns that keep them trapped. These thoughts might feel harmless, but over time, they program the subconscious mind to accept them as reality. The good news is that self-talk can be reprogrammed. Just as negative words can hold you back, positive, empowering words can push you forward and reshape your identity. Changing your self-talk starts with awareness. Listen closely to the way you speak to yourself in moments of challenge, failure, or uncertainty. If you catch yourself using language that weakens your confidence, pause and consciously replace it with words that strengthen you. For example, instead of saying, "I'll never get this right," say, "I'm learning and I'm getting better every day." This shift may seem small, but it changes the energy you bring to your actions. Over time, these positive statements become the default voice in your mind. The mind responds strongly to repetition, so the more often you affirm empowering beliefs, the deeper they take root. Statements like "I am capable," "I am disciplined," "I overcome challenges," or "I create opportunities" may feel strange at first, especially if you've been used to the opposite. But with consistency, your subconscious mind begins to accept these words as truth, and your actions start to align with them. This is why athletes, leaders, and successful entrepreneurs often repeat affirmations daily. They're training their minds to believe in their own abilities before the world gives them proof. Self-talk is also about self-compassion. You will make mistakes, face rejection, and fall short at times. That's part of growth. In those moments, your inner voice should act like a coach, not a critic. Harsh self Criticism only creates fear and hesitation, while supportive self-talk encourages you to get back up and try again. Treat yourself the way you would treat a close friend who's struggling with patience, encouragement, and belief in their potential. Ultimately, the quality of yourself-talk determines the quality of your mindset. When you consistently speak to yourself with confidence, resilience, and vision, you program your mind for success. Your words create your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions build your reality. By mastering self-talk, you take control of the most influential voice in your life, your own, and turn it into a constant source of strength. Focus is the ability to direct the full power of your mind toward a single goal without letting distractions pull you away. In a world overflowing with noise, information, and constant demands for attention, focus has become one of the rarest and most valuable skills. When your attention is scattered across too many things, your energy is diluted, and your progress slows to a crawl. But when you concentrate on one clear objective, your efforts become sharper, more efficient, and far more impactful. Focus is like a magnifying glass when sunlight is scattered. It warms everything a little, but when concentrated, it can ignite fire. The mind naturally wants to wander. Thoughts drift to past mistakes, future worries, or unrelated tasks, and each time this happens, your productivity and clarity suffer. This is why focus requires conscious training. It begins with deciding what matters most and committing to it fully. The moment you make something your priority, you send a signal to your brain that says, "This is where my energy goes." That single choice eliminates countless distractions because anything that doesn't align with your goal becomes irrelevant. One of the biggest enemies of focus is multitasking. Many believe they're being efficient by juggling several things at once, but in reality, multitasking forces the brain to constantly switch gears, which burns mental energy and reduces performance. True focus means immersing yourself in one task until it's done or until you've reached a meaningful stopping point. This deep, uninterrupted concentration not only improves the quality of your work, but also saves time because you're not constantly recovering from interruptions. Focus is also fueled by clarity. You can't concentrate on something vague. You must define exactly what you want to achieve and break it into clear, actionable steps. This transforms an overwhelming goal into a series of achievable milestones. Each small win keeps your motivation alive and strengthens your ability to stay locked in. When your vision is crystal clear, focus becomes easier because you know exactly where you're going and why. Maintaining focus requires discipline in how you manage your environment. Distractions aren't just external like phones, notifications, or noise, they're also internal, such as self-doubt, overthinking, and mental fatigue. This means you must create conditions that protect your focus, a clean workspace, a set time for deep work, regular breaks to recharge, and habits that keep your energy high. By removing the unnecessary, you make more space for what truly matters. When you master focus, you tap into a level of mental power most people never experience. You work faster, think more clearly, and accomplish more in less time. More importantly, you build the ability to follow through on your commitments without being swayed by distractions or setbacks. Focus is the bridge between intention and achievement, the skill that transforms potential into results. Once you learn to control where your attention goes, you gain the power to control where your life goes. Action is the final and most decisive step in unlocking the secret power of your mind. You can have awareness, belief, a vivid vision, empowering self-talk, and laser-like focus, but without action, they remain potential energy unrealized and unused. Action is the spark that turns thoughts into reality, the bridge between the mental and the physical world. Every dream you've ever had, no matter how big or small, requires movement. The mind can plan, prepare, and imagine endlessly, but until you take that first step, nothing changes. Many people hesitate to act because they're waiting for the perfect moment, a moment when the fear is gone, the plan is flawless, and the circumstances are ideal. but that moment rarely comes. The truth is, clarity grows from action, not the other way around. You learn what works and what doesn't by doing, not just thinking. Every step, even a small one, gives you feedback, teaches you lessons, and builds momentum. Without movement, fear grows stronger. With movement, fear begins to shrink. Action doesn't have to be massive to be meaningful. Often, it's the small, consistent steps that create the biggest transformation over time. Just like drops of water can carve a canyon, repeated effort in the same direction can reshape your entire life. The important thing is to start. Once you're in motion, it becomes easier to keep going because progress fuels motivation. This is why people who take consistent action, even imperfectly, often surpass those who endlessly prepare but never begin. One of the most powerful aspects of action is its ability to strengthen belief. Every time you act, you prove to yourself that you are capable. This builds confidence, which in turn makes you more willing to take bigger actions. It becomes a cycle. Action builds belief, and belief fuels more action. This is how momentum works. It's not something you wait for. It's something you create by moving forward. Action also transforms abstract goals into tangible results. Thinking about getting fit doesn't build muscle lifting the weights does. Visualizing a business doesn't create income making calls. Creating products and serving customers does. Self-talk can give you confidence, but putting yourself on that stage, making that pitch, or starting that project is what changes your life. The world rewards execution, not just intention. The key to mastering action is to remove the pressure of perfection and focus on progress. Ask yourself daily, what is one step I can take right now that moves me closer to my goal? Then do it, no matter how small. Over time, these steps accumulate into something remarkable. And here's the secret: action breeds opportunity. Once you start moving, doors you couldn't have predicted begin to open, connections happen, and resources appear. Your mind is the engine, but action is the vehicle. Without it, your potential stays parked, gathering dust. With it, you move toward your destiny, one step at a time. When you commit to consistent, purposeful action, you not only unlock the power of your mind, you unleash the life you were meant to live.